Mohamed Salah. The Egyptian king yesterday took to his social media handle to announce his exit from Liverpool come the end of season. And again, that's more of like a barely 7 months or 6 months after penning a new, contract at Anfield. And I could recall before he signed that contract, there was a whole lot of back and forth, tussling between him and the club. And for him to now announce his exit, this way, actually send a wave of shocks, to football lovers and all of that. But it is what it is. I love the fact that maybe Salah decided, to call it quits his own way, decided, to actually announce his exit himself. There you have it. Let's listen to Mohamed Salah. This was a short clip that he posted on social media. Let's listen to him. So when we return, we'll talk more about this decision.
Hello everyone. Unfortunately, the day has come. This is the first part of my farewell. I will be leaving Liverpool at the end of this season. I wanted to start by saying that I never imagined how deeply this club, this city, these people would become part of my life. Liverpool is not just a football club. It's a passion, it's a history, it's a spirit I can't explain in a word to anyone not part of this club. We celebrated victory, we won the most important trophies, and we fought together through the hardest time in our life. I want to thank everyone who was part of this club throughout my time here, especially the teammates, past and present, and to the fans. I don't have enough words. The support you showed me through the best time of my career, and you stood by me in the toughest time, is something I will never forget, and something I will take it with me always. Leaving is never easy. You gave me the best time of my life. I will be always one of you. This club will always be my home, to me and to my family. Thank you for everything. Because of all of you, I will never walk alone.
There you have it, Mohamed Salah saying it as it is. The journey will actually come to an end at the end of the season, which means Liverpool have to start life, without their Egyptian king or Egyptian Messi, whichever way you choose to call him. Guys, I don't know what to make of the news. I don't know what you guys think, but as far as I'm concerned, I was actually shocked, because last season, earlier this season, there was a talk about him not being an integral part of the team anymore. There was a back and forth between him and the manager. He was dropped at some point. Some people labeled him problem. He released a statement, an interview.
Called him the worst best player. Imagine, worst best.
He granted an interview that caused problems all over the world and all of that. And he was reinstated back into the team. Even when we talked that Salah is back, but then, because I saw him against Galatasaray, the second leg at Anfield, it was just Mohamed Salah's show. He had an assist, he scored a goal, missed a penalty, still created chances regardless.
Regardless of how we want to talk about it, all this criticism and all of that, this man is a legend at Liverpool. He's a legend for African football. This is someone that a lot of people would look at his career and want to, try and go as far as he has gone. I respect him as a footballer because of the kind of way he worked his way up there to what he's doing now. I remember when he joined Chelsea, he was trying to make a name for himself. He's like a promising star then, and he couldn't, make it at Chelsea. But nonetheless, he didn't just stay down. He didn't just lower his shoulder or anything. He went on and tried to rebuild his career. He got the Liverpool move, and then the rest is history. This is why I respect Ronaldo of this day. This is why I respect Gareth Bale. This is why I respect players like that the talent wasn't just enough for them. They worked their ass off to get everything that they've got. But then, let's not just forget about the fact that last season, was it last season that he signed the contract?
Yeah.
Before the beginning of last season. I was telling a friend, I said, it's always good to leave when the ovation is high. Salah could or should have left then. It could have been a lot more better and celebrated more. But then his colleagues,
If he had left as a Premier League champion?
Yes. Mane was there. I think he enjoyed most of his career at Liverpool with Mane and Firmino. So it was the trio. They were the trios. Firmino left first, I think, and then Mane, and then it remained only him. It was never the same attack without those two with Liverpool. These two guys fed Salah a whole lot. But then it's understandable that you don't get to see or feel the same flow like this guy. But let's leave all this talk and just remember Salah for the good that he has done for Liverpool. He has the most Champions League, he has the most assists, if I'm not mistaken, probably top 2 or top 3 in the highest goal scorer in Liverpool history. He has done a lot. He has some records as regards Premier League itself. It's not just Liverpool alone. This man is going to be talked about for a long years now. So it doesn't matter how you want to look at it. This man has done his bit. He has done a lot for us to enjoy in Premier League, in England as a whole. So congratulations to him for all he has done already, and I can only wish him luck going forward.
Okay, before I actually ask, go into, probably because I have like some important questions, in my head. But before I actually ask about that, Moses, what do you think about the timing as well?
Well, it didn't come as a shock, but when he threw the club under the bus, I knew that this was going to happen because he was blamed for their poor form. At that point, the whole blame was put on Salah. I recall schools calling him the worst best player, which I felt that was very, very disrespectful. I mean, just last season, he won the league.
Gerrard as well came in, ripped into him.
Exactly. And the fact that maybe we didn't expect that deep in form. Last season, he scored 34 goals. 34, even without Firmino, without Mane. In fact, one of his most productive seasons at Liverpool was last season. So you could say that it really has nothing to do with the telepathic relationship between Mane and Firmino, because he still scored 34 goals and they won the Premier League. So I didn't expect that deep in, because I mean, let's be frank, the Salah we saw last season, not the Salah we've seen so far this season. Yes, he put up a great show against the Galatasaray, and I've always said that, see, Salah is just goals. Take away the goals from Mohamed Salah, then Salah is ordinary. But this is just a player that scores so effortlessly. So if at times in the first 70 minutes you are wondering what Salah doing in this game, but this is just a player that twinkle of an eye, he can turn things around. But I think the team has evolved to a point that maybe they feel they could do.
I don't think his greatness or his talent is well talked about enough. I mean, now you just take away the goals and probably the assists.
Yeah, take away the goals, probably the assists. And I understand why is it so.
But Start is saying, since he arrived Liverpool, probably in 2017, 2018, nobody has
2017 from AS Roma.
Yeah, nobody has created more chances. So it's not just all about this, the goals and the assists. It's about he has actually helped others to also flourish.
The problem they always have with Salah is, Salah doesn't track back. I even think it's not his fault. If you have a player as pacey as Salah, we don't want him to track back because we need him to join the counter, to start the counter and end it. So I feel him not tracking back is what the coaches he has worked under, they know his quality, and they felt like, you don't have to really join the defense that much. Just stay. Because of your pace, you can actually lead we can score through a counter through you just being up front. But it is what it is. He's a legend. I feel Liverpool should have a statue for Mohamed Salah. If Man City could do that for players that are not even as productive, as influential, for Liverpool should do that. It's just painful. Actually, because if you check the list of the all-time goal scorer for Liverpool, he's number 3. I was hoping maybe we'll get number 2 because the all-time, I think he has 355. So if Salah would beat that, he would need another season. He would need about 30 goals just to beat that. Okay, that's Jan Rush at 346 goals, and Salah is currently at 255. So actually, if he will become the second, all-time goal scorer for Liverpool, beating Roger Hunt, less than 285. So you even need about 30 goals to beat Roger Hunt. But having said that, even being number 3 on the list, I think is a feat. It's definitely not a mean feat.
No.
It may take 20, 50 years before you catch a player that will score that number of goals.
I have maybe controversial opinion, regarding Salah's status in the Premier League and Liverpool greatest player of all time as well. The debate is on now.
Was he Liverpool greatest player?
Yeah, I think people gave that accolade to Steven Gerrard due to some, good performances and some other qualities as well. I don't want to compare Gerrard and Mo Salah, because obviously they are playing different positions. Gerrard a midfielder and Salah
the leadership quality of Gerrard.
But when you look at the number of titles that these guys won and the key role that they played in the history of this club, I think Salah is not being fairly treated. It's difficult. It's going to be difficult for many people now to agree with me. But I'm trying to look at the number of individual accolades won by this guy. Individual accolades, let me start with the Premier League Golden Boot. Record 4 times winning Golden Boot. Then you have PFA Player of the Year on 3 different occasions as well. Then you have, him winning other important trophies as well. So I don't know. And for Steven Gerrard, we all know that obviously the Premier League was elusive or eluded him. And we know how important the Premier League is, to Liverpool. And Salah won 2, not just 1. So if you look when you look at contributions, like I said, I don't want to base it on goals. I don't want to base it on statistics alone, because statistics doesn't favor Gerrard. So but when you look at the number of trophies,
laurels. So you are basing it on laurels.
Yes, impact and all of that. I think Mo Salah should be up there ahead of Steven.
Whether we like it or not, English pundits and presenters, sports presenters, are always biased. That's the truth, and we cannot take that out. If Mo Salah is an Englishman, what do you think? We won't even have a debate. You'll probably see someone write that Mo Salah should be winning the Ballon d'Or if he was an Englishman. It'll probably be in the names of all-time English best, right? But as it is now, he's
so
not
I think
in that.
a player like Mohamed Salah will be regarded as all-time English.
I think
If he was an English,
I don't think there is any English player as good or as productive as Mohamed Salah. I don't think so.
Not even Giggs?
I mean English player.
English.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But then, he's not English. That sentiment will always play out. We can go on and say lots of things that Salah have done that makes him a strong competitor for certain posts. But then you will not see it mentioned because, come on, he's not English. But then Gerrard, even apart from the fact that, okay, Gerrard had what he had, the time that Liverpool were trying to come back into limelight was when Salah came in. And he's part of all the success that Liverpool has had in recent time. The former coach would have him to thank for everything he has won, even though Pep was the reason why they didn't get as much as they should.
Premier League.
Because, come on, if you see what they did, if you see the kind of football, the brand of football they played, they deserve more than they won.
The number of points that they got at some
they should be
point,
winning more than that.
97
yes.
or 95,
yes.
and they couldn't win.
So Salah was a big part of all this. But you would understand, it's not, when you are not an Englishman, I don't want to go into what would sound like racism, but then it's always going to be a card that they would play. So, but it's okay. If I was Salah, I would not think I didn't do well enough. And I think he will still get some accolades from the local fans.
I don't think I would agree that Salah is quite debatable though, because I feel Gerrard was a captain, number one. So when you look at it from the aspect of leadership, on and off the pitch. And yes, Gerrard didn't win any Premier League title with Liverpool, but he also won about 9 trophies, for them. And their position, the position differs. Gerrard was playing in the midfield, and he still scored about 186. In the all-time list, Gerrard is 5th, either 5th or 6th midfielder Gerrard plays as a forward, so he's closer to the goalpost than, I'm talking about Salah, than Steven Gerrard. And the sentiment, we cannot take away the sentiment, the fact that yes, Gerrard started like an own boy who grew, you know, when he should have left at some point where Madrid showed interest, Chelsea showed interest, he stayed put. So the sentiments of Gerrard is an English player. He should definitely play a role anytime, any day. But the achievement of Gerrard at Liverpool, that's why I say it's debatable. In my own opinion, I wouldn't want to say, but I don't think for us to celebrate Salah, we don't have to say, oh, maybe Salah is bigger or better than Steven Gerrard. There's no way Salah is up there when it comes to the greatest players, not even Liverpool, even in the EPL. That's why I feel like it's a no-brainer.
Because the reason is, I try to look at some of these debates. I mean, I saw people talking about Henry being the greatest players in the Premier League history. I saw Henry. I saw his arrival from Juventus at Arsenal. I mean, he didn't add this much numbers. Because, I mean, one of the criticism leveled against Salah is that it doesn't track back. Henry was like that as well. He's a forward player that Wenger didn't even bother him with any defensive, you know, duties and all of that. And many people still regard him as the player of all time. But here you have people who actually won more in England, you know, scored more goals, stayed longer at the top level. They didn't leave. You know, at some point, Henry had to leave Arsenal, you know, to Barcelona to chase the Champions League. And back to Gerrard as well. Gerrard was not like Gerrard had awful teammates.
Gerrard started as an academy player. So it has been Liverpool from day one. So the fans would rate Gerrard higher than Salah.
That is being sentimental.
Of course, we are all sentimental. Sentiment is part of life. We cannot take that away. This guy started his career at Liverpool, and when he had to leave, he didn't leave. And by the time I think he moved to MLS, he didn't join a highly competitive. Even when he left, Liverpool, I think he went to MLS. Yes, Gerrard. That's something that I don't think. Well, that's my own opinion. I don't feel Salah is greater than Steven G. Now, Steven G was the captain. Salah was Salah a captain?
Salah was probably the second captain or third captain at some point. Now you have Van Dijk and him being the assistant captain. When it comes to leadership, he's also a leader. He leads from the front. So for me, I don't think there is anything extraordinary. I mean, we talk extraordinary,
about Gerrard.
No, that Gerrard did that makes you believe that he is untouchable. He's the holy grail in Liverpool's history. I don't think so.
The Champions League final at Istanbul,
come on, Moses,
which is still one of the most talked about final.
Champions League night.
Yeah, Champions League night, right?
The 3-0 comeback.
See, look at
what were they looking at? Or is it allowed to go 3 goals off?
Their performance in that game. You cannot take away the leadership quality of Steven Gerrard. He turned up in.
So are you going to what do you mean he turned up? I mean, we are talking about players with over 100, over 200 goals, over this, over that.
As a midfielder, he has over 150 goals for Liverpool. So as a midfielder, I've talked about the sentiments now.
No EPL. But no EPL.
Of course, no EPL. So
if you want to rate
that
players,
doesn't take anything away from Steven Gerrard.
Listen, if you want to rate players based on all-time this thing, you will talk about their heroics overall, not just in one night or one season or whatever.
But you know, certain things
that is when
more.
I know. That is when you start talking about the stats. Whether you like it or not, it will come out because you will be asked why you think this man is more of an hero than the other person. These two guys are Liverpool legends. We cannot argue that. We are just talking about how we cannot tone down what Salah has done. Because like I said, if Salah was an Englishman, we would not be having this conversation like this. You will not compare Gerrard's achievement to Salah's. We're talking about somebody that is third in their goal scoring ranking. This is Liverpool. Liverpool are a traditional, very historical team in England.
How many
they go a long
How many have we seen in midfield?
How many years have we seen?
I've never seen in midfield. 186 goals.
That's Frank Lampard. How many goals?
I know.
They don't come. That's why I said I don't want us to base this debate on the number of goals because it's always going to be against Gerrard. is not an attacker. He's not an attacker. But you have another accolade that it doesn't matter where you play. Moses, it doesn't matter where you play, that you are definitely going to win. You have the PFA player.
Yes.
You have the football writer player. Individual achievement. Mohamed Salah is having the record of the most PFA player, not even Gerrard. The reason people believe that Nemanja Vidic is greater than John Terry or was a better defender than John Terry is because he won more Player of the Year award as a defender than John Terry.
And the only defender.
I don't find that even quite more debatable. Vidic, John Terry.
It's debatable. That's what I said. That's what I said. Some people believe.
Well,
but now
what do you believe?
Terry
or Vidic?
I think Terry.
I think Terry too. But
then it's up there for a debate. I mean, these are quite iconic players and all of that. But I just think people are not being fair, to Salah. You just don't say, oh, is this, is that.
Salah is celebrated not in the prism of, oh, he's better than Gerrard. No, we can celebrate him, but don't draw that juxtaposition, that comparison.
Why should we?
So because if we are not going to crown Salah as a better player than Gerrard, then it means we are not celebrating Salah.
Moses,
does that mean we are not celebrating Salah?
Do you know why this conversation will always come up? Anytime a player is retiring or leaving a particular team, there is no how you will not be compared with those that have left. Just so they know your place in history. It has always been like that. So the comparison will be with Gerrard and other strikers. You hear it soon that
far better than Torres.
Those ones have been short sighted.
Many people regard Torres as a Liverpool legend, but it is what it is. I think for me. But then it is what it is.
Is he a legend? Is a Liverpool legend? So is he an iconic figure for Liverpool? Yes, he is. Is he an EPL legend? Yes, he's an. I don't say it's their status. I won't come with the comparison of he's bigger than Gerrard. That will take us anywhere. It's endless.
Because you think Gerrard.
You said he won 6, Gerrard won 9.
Because you think Gerrard is the greatest of all time for Liverpool. And I believe
I'm not even look. There's Jan Rush. I'm not even saying. I don't want to join the debate of who is the greatest of all time for Liverpool. Let's just play safe and say, well, he's one of the greatest players for Liverpool, and Gerrard is one of the greatest players for Liverpool. So I rather leave it there. No, he said to play safe.
Obviously, you want to rob Salah of his
come on. You want to rob Salah. So is he better than Jan Rush also? Are you saying he's all-time greatest? Okay, anyway.
If they think they are greater than Salah,
let the fans decide.
Let them come forward and present what. I mean, you have to show something for it.
Yeah,
sure. When a lot of people said Messi is greater, people pointed at World Cup. Then where's the World Cup? Now Messi. Well, anyway, Messi has won it. People are still saying he's not the greatest.
So some people say it's Maradona. Some will say it's Pelé. Some people say it's Cristiano Ronaldo. So that's their sentiment.
Okay. So all right, guys. So congratulations to Mohamed Salah. Obviously, we are definitely going to keep a tab. Continue to keep a tab on his career. He hasn't announced his next destination. For one thing is certain, he has probably made the world known that he's leaving Liverpool.
Saudi club will kill for his signature.
I think he's ending it because of the Saudi deal. Probably
the MLS too. You never can tell.
Are you
I
sure?
think Saudi should be
his
best choice.
Okay.
I think Saudi should be his best choice, not because he's a Muslim, not because he will find the environment more appealing, but also because he will be worshipped there.
Yeah.
These are no matter team that is going to
celebrate Christmas.
Except Al-Nassr, of course. Except Al-Nassr, of course.
Celebrate Christmas.
He's going to be an icon in whatever club he walks into now before he even kick the ball. So why not?
I don't think it will definitely justify that iconic figure, whichever club he walks into.
No, anybody that wants to get Salah now.
Some players don't need to.
Any player,
he must justify it.
He will justify it later, but just like
any club that is coming in for Mo Salah now obviously knows that they are not getting a player in his prime anymore.
Yeah, he's 33.
He's 33. Yes. 33 can still give you probably 2-3 years top level of football. Ronaldo is still playing at 40. I think Salah can still
Ronaldo is exceptional.
I know. I mean, but Salah is also when you look at how he takes care of his body,
Can still give you 20 goals.
can still give you 20 goals in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, but would that now make an iconic?
He's already iconic. He's
an iconic player already.
iconic player already.
Already.
That's what I'm saying. Do you know how many jerseys they will sell
For the club,
for because they are signing Salah?
Well, we don't know his destination yet, but I understand that it's closer to Saudi than anywhere else.
I hope he goes to Saudi. That's where you'll be well celebrated.
well celebrated. All right, guys, let's also talk about this. It has something to do with Saudi Arabia, but obviously it's just about before we leave our Liverpool issue, Salah was also in action, for the club against Brighton and Hove Albion over the weekend. It ended in defeat for Liverpool, and maybe for Salah, the target now should be qualifying the club, for the Champions League and all of that, because obviously the Premier League title is far beyond their reach now. They are still in the UEFA Champions League. They have to think about PSG, which is possible, for
It's a
them.
winnable game, yes.
Yeah, it's a winnable game as well. But let's take this break now. Let's